We have indeed been creating connections with God, with each other, and with the work we do with our communities. And as we look back on this immensely rich day, some reminders. As Chris Russell said, Christ has been praying for us, is praying for us, will carry on praying for us. Chris Russell asked us what risk we might be called to take for the sake of Jesus. And then back at the beginning of this day, a couple of things that struck me about how much praying for a head teacher is appreciated, and Mark Solomon's wonderful comment about his celebration council. Just imagine if your PCC became the parish celebration council. I've mentioned a few things that have struck me today, and Neil has helpfully asked you to text yourselves with what has landed for you. I want to take that on one step. What has not just landed for you, but what will you take from today and do differently? What's the takeaway for you? What are you going to do as a result of this day? A couple of minutes for you to think about that. And again, if you have a notebook or you have a phone and want to note that down, and ask yourself in a week's time, are you doing it? That will be evidence that this day has been utterly worthwhile. So back to the conclusion of this day. And to conclude with thanks, first of all, as others have said, thanksgiving for the presence in our midst of our friends from Uganda, the musicians, lay people, clergy, bishops, wives in their wonderful uniforms. Thank you for travelling with us these days and particularly today. Thank you for our wonderful compares, Liz Townend and Mark Nam. Thank you to my colleagues on the staff team, which has developed over the last few months as we have added new folk and new faces, and you've had a chance to experience their ministries. I'm grateful to them and for the work we are doing together. Thank you for those who have worked in front of the scenes. Matthew Hall. The running gag today, but those who work behind the scenes, those who welcomed us this morning, those who served our lunch, those who dealt with the recycling, those who'll be clearing up after we leave. Thank you to Matthew, your team, and Chris Priddy's team. Chris, I think, is with the Diocese of Gloucester, or is he here? He is here, Chris. You're behind a computer or something up there. Chris, we owe you a huge debt of thanks because you have worked so hard on today. Let's give him a round of applause. And finally, thank you to Sophie Mitchell, to Chris Russell for their inspiration and encouragement, and to the team here, to Si Jones and those he enables to minister to us today and to so many in this part of our diocese. I am immensely grateful to them, and I'm not sure how many of them are in the auditorium, but let's give thanks and I'll pass that on. So let's get ready to go by standing. And remembering that Christ is with us, that Christ goes before us, and that in the name of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, we are called to go in peace and love and serve the Lord. In the name of Christ. Amen. Good afternoon, safe journey home.